Okay, today's webinar is going to include AiM navigation, how to locate AiM, how to get access and your user login. And we're going to go through the AiM guides and forms. We are going to go through the planned work order manual, and then we're going to create a planned work order and how to attach a project and how to add the phase. The payment application, we're going to create a payment application. We're going to enter the user-defined fields and talk about that a little bit. And we're going to add related documents. Consultant invoice, same thing. We're going to create the consultant invoice, enter the user-defined fields and the related documents. The external charge major maintenance, we're going to create an external charge and attach the invoices related to that expenditure. The AiM reports, we're going to review the budget appropriation reports, DAOCOW reports, external charge reports, facility plan reports, planned work orders, location information report, project group report, property buildings, tracts and deeds. And all of those are in AiM, and I'll show you how to find those, and they sure help you out when you're doing like your external charge report or you're trying to find your buildings. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to locate AiM. And there's two different ways that you can find AiM. We're going to go to the Wyoming State Construction Department. And we're going to click on that, and then we're going to find it, and you click on State Construction Department. Now this has both construction management. If you click on construction management, that's going to, of course, take you to their website. Or you can click on school facilities, and that's going to take you to our website. Now, there's another way you can find it. You can just type in sfd.wyo.gov, and that's going to take you to that exact same page. In order to find AiM, you're going to click on the AiM icon at the top of the page. And if you have not been on our website, it's probably a good idea if you're new to your school district that you go ahead and go through all of these icons. There's a lot of information about your school district in these. So I'm going to pick on AiM, and then I am going to see if I can get my icons to come down a little bit. So AiM is a web-based software that allows SFD to manage appropriations and expenditures associated with capital construction, major maintenance, and component projects. In addition, school districts utilize AiM to submit payment and work order requests, transmit invoices, approve and post charges, and to reconcile annual major maintenance expenditures. AiM also includes a function called BERT, Business Intelligence and Reporting Tool, which the SFD has used to build a statewide database of information on school capacity and building conditions. This data plays an important role during facility planning process. Now what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to access AiM. So if you have not gotten a username, excuse me, a username and password, then you need to come to this page, and you're going to click on AiM User Request Form. You click on that. And then the next thing you do is click choose, and you're going to click your district. So I'm just going to put Albany County, and I'm going to click next, and I'm going to put my first name and my last name. And then I'm going to click what my job title is. If you're not a superintendent, business manager, facility manager, or an assistant, you just click other and you can write the information in. So I'm going to click business manager, and then I'm going to type my email. And then my phone number. And then I hit submit. Once I click submit, that goes to JJ and Raj, and they will set up your username and let you pick out a password. They'll put a temporary one on there first, and then they'll configure your work desk for AiM based on a conversation that they'll have with you. And they're pretty standard across the board. So that's all you need to do to get a username and password. Now the next thing we have is the AiM guides, and we're going to go through these guides. I sent these all in an email when I started the webinar, and so you should have those, and you should have the agenda. We're going to go through planned work orders first, and then we'll go through the payment application, consultant invoice, external charges, and the AiM database update request form. Let's look at that for a second. This is what we use if you need to update any of your property profiles. Let's say you purchased some new land. Well, we need to get that into the AiM database. So you'll fill out this form, and it's just going to give you update existing information, the property, you fill out the property number. If it doesn't have one, you're going to put that it's a new property. You're going to, and that's where you add the new property is right here. And then you're going to put all the information. What tract of land is it on? Is it on your high school? Is it on your administration land? Is it new land on a different spot? Is it adjacent? So you'll want to put as much information in this form as you can, because it's going to make it a lot easier to have your property as accurate as can be. So if you're not sure, give us a call. You can call me, JJ, you can call Raj, but usually just call me and I'll help you fill it out and answer any additional questions that you might have. So we're going to get out of that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the planned work order manual. And I'm not going to go through all of the manuals at one time. I'm trying to move this icon that's in my way here. And pull over. Yeah, it doesn't want to move over. Be just a second. I think it's going to stay on the main screen. Yeah, it's going to stay there. So we'll just have to move it when we need to. Okay, so the first manual that we're going to go through is the planned work order. And the first thing that you'll do is you'll click on Project Management. And then you click on the paper icon over on this where you see the red square, the little paper. That's what you're going to click on to create a new planned work order. And then you're going to select your region, which is your district. So you're going to click on the little magnifying glass that's on the right hand side, and you're going to click your district, the site, and the property that you're doing the work order on. You're going to also fill out the description of the work order. For instance, this one says replace carpet in music room. The version that we are currently in is 2019. Our budget fiscal year starts on an odd year. It's budget fiscal year is a 2-year period, and we are in fiscal year 2019. Now, you're going to use that as any work orders that you put in right now. You're going to put the version as 2019, and that is as of July 1st of 2018. And the planned fiscal year is when you plan on doing the work for the work order. So if you don't plan on doing this carpet replacement until 2020, then you would enter planned fiscal year 2020. And then you enter the amount that you got an estimate on for the work order. A lot of times you don't have the estimate yet. You can always come back and add it to your work order. And then you're going to pick the type. Now that we'll go over that when I do the live one. And so the type would be maintenance, and the category is major maintenance. And then you're just going to add that, and you're going to click on the click on the add button at the right, and click the magnifying glass button in the project field, and that's after you've filled out the first page. Now you have to pick the project that it goes to. You click the major maintenance project number that matches the planned fiscal year you selected in the last page. So if you had you planned on doing the work in 2019, then you would pick Albany Major Maintenance 19. If you plan on doing that work in 2020, then you would put Albany Major Maintenance 20. And then once you've done that, the project you selected will be displayed in the project field, and verify that the active field shows yes. Now, if that's showing, the active is showing no, that's not going to come up. So you want to make sure that you have that as active. And then your project will be itemized on the second tab. Click Done when in the upper left-hand corner. And then what you can do is add your phase section. Now, you don't want to do your phase section before you do your project. See on the left-hand side where it says projects. After you do your main page, you're going to do the projects next. And then you're going to add your phase. And make sure that you add that phase last. Click the magnifying glass button on the work code field and find the work code that relates to the project that you're requesting in the pick list that pulls it up. Use the page arrows at the bottom of the window to navigate through the available codes. Click the Done button at the top left corner. If you have documents you want to add attached to support your work order, like the itemized invoices or itemized quote that you might have gotten, you can attach it to related documents. And you just click on the left-hand side where it says Related Documents. And then you're going to click Add. And then you're going to choose from your desktop or whatever files you're keeping all of your documentation in. And you're going to go to, like for instance, I had these in my scan folder. And you're going to click the work order that goes with that. And then you'll click Next. And then you're going to enter general correspondence in the type. And we don't assign attributes when you hit Next. So then you're going to hit Next again because we don't assign permissions either. And then you're just going to click Next, Done, and then Save. Now we're going to do a live one, so it's a little easier to see just how easy it is to do a work order. And I'm going to click on AiM, and you can click on AiM from the SFD website. Let me go in there. A little webinar stuff is in the way. So the AiM icon is at the top of the page on our website. So you just click on that, and then you enter your username and password and click Login. Just a moment. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is click on Project Management. And then we're going to hit click on the Planned Work Order paper icon to the left of Planned Work Order. And we're going to enter our work order. And we're going to put in our description first. And on this one, I'm going to put replace ailing roof. And then I'm going to pick the region, which is your district. And then I'm going to pick the site that it's on. And the property should automatically populate for you. Now you want to make sure when you do your work orders that you are attaching them to the correct site, because it can mess up a whole lot of stuff if it's attached to the wrong property. And then you go to work on the payment applications or anything like that, it's gonna kind of mess it up. So we're, like we spoke about, are in fiscal year 2019. We're going to click on that, and we're going to do the work in 2019. And the type we're going to do is a regular major maintenance. Now, if it's a capital project or a component level project, you're going to click on facility plan. But this one, we're going to click on major maintenance. And then we're just going to click on regular major maintenance. Now, it could be 10% major maintenance. Some districts were allotted some 8% major maintenance funds a few years ago. There's not much of that left now. But if you have it, if you have any 8% left, please use it as soon as possible. We'd like to get that cleared out. Or if this is for security, 10% of your major maintenance is allocated to your security projects. So don't forget that you can use that as well if you're doing a security project. So we're going to hit major maintenance. And then we want to make sure that we put the amount of the budget for the planned work order. Okay, that's all you need to do there. Now the next thing we got to do is click on projects. And remember, we were talking about how it had to match what you put in as your planned fiscal year. So you can put in BIG 01 underscore major maintenance underscore 19. That's the year that we're going to do the work. You want to make sure that this active is showing yes. And you're going to click done. And it'll show you, after you do that, it'll show you that it's under your projects. And then if you see that you made a mistake, you grabbed the wrong one, then you can always remove it. Click on this little square next to the BIG01 Major Maintenance 19, and then click remove. And that'll remove it, and or if you ever have to come back and make a correction. So then you click done. Once that's done, then you're going to add your phase. So on the right hand at the bottom, there's a blue add button. So click that. And this is your phase. And what you're going to do here is you're going to, for shop, you're just going to put district. And then you're going to enter your work code. And this one is B3010. And then we're going to click related documents because you'll want to add any estimates that you might have. So, but this is all you need to do on this page is just your shop and your work code. And you want to make sure your funding method is showing project. If it says work order, that means you probably entered your planned phase before you entered your project. So just make sure that this funding method shows project. And then we're going to add a related document. And then you're going to go to your desktop or wherever you have your files. And then you're just going to upload the documents that you want in your planned work order. And then you click Next. And it might take a little bit for it to load. And then here, you're just going to type in general correspondence. And I hit a G and it automatically populates it. And then I click Next. We don't use permissions. And then once that's done, then you just click Done. So as you can see, it did load the paperwork that you wanted attached to your planned work order. And then you'll click Done. And Done again. And then you'll click Save. And I'm not going to save this one because this is actually on the live website and Bighorn will probably be calling me. So, but you click Save and there's your work order number. And it doesn't show related documents yet, but once it's you click Save, then it'll be in there. So that's all there is to work orders. Does anybody have any questions?
Nope. We've got Judy Smith. And Judy Smith, I'm going to unmute you and go ahead and speak.
On the related documents, the attachment, if you're doing an estimate, at one time we were putting everything in as general correspondence, but in a previous training, JJ instructed us if it's an estimate to put that it is an estimate. You can use the magnifying glass to pull up the documents, related documents, and pick what is closest to what you're attaching.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
That's all.
Any other questions?
We do have another question. Greg, you've typed the question. What happens when you have a work order and it goes over the estimated budget?
Well, sometimes that does happen because if you haven't gotten all the numbers in yet, then and you're still waiting for more estimates, that's a possibility. You can go in and update that. Once it has been approved by the project manager, you won't be able to update it at that time, but you can add all the other estimates to the documentation. If you need help with that, give us a call and we'll help you with that. But that does happen frequently.
Greg, you are unmuted. Is there any other question with that?
No, and that was one of my questions is, do I need to update that, change it, things like that, or that
Yeah,
was one of my concerns.
you just want to get it as close as you can, and because that's going to help out a lot, you know, if they go to approve that. So, and your project manager might have additional questions on that, and they can contact you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Currently, no other hands or other questions have been posted yet. So we will move on. I'm going to lower people's hands for the next round. Please post if you need a question or answer.
Okay. Cool. All right, the next one we're going to work on is payment application. We're not going to go through the manual on this one. I don't want to take a whole lot of your time when you can follow along on the manual yourself. So, or you can watch the webinar at your convenience and follow along that way. So for the payment application, you're going to go to Accounts Payable, and then you're going to click on Payment Application, and you're going to click on the paper icon just like you did on your work order. And then you're going to click Execute. And that's going to bring up, let's see if it brings all of your contracts. And we are going to see if we can find this one. There's different ways that you can pull them up. If you know your contract number, you can pick on that. Since I get all of the districts on mine, I just randomly picked one. So this one is in the Trona County one, and it is for Kelly Walsh High School construction. And then I'm going to click on the pay app number, and I'm just going to randomly pick pay app 1. It's pay app, whatever pay app number it is, that's what you're going to pick. So your pay application date, make sure those are always filled out. We're just going to pick the 3rd, and the date you submitted it, which would be today's date, if it was today that you submitted it. And then once you're done with that, you are going to load the documents, and you're going to pick what line, component line, this is going to be billed to. So this one happens to be a pay app for FF&E. So we're going to click the FF&E line. And then you're going to click Next. And that's going to bring up your FF&E line on your construction project. And you're going to enter the amount. And then you're going to click Done. Now, if you have additional lines that this pay app is going to, let's say you have some construction payments that you need to add to this as well, you just click Load and add the other lines and pick the lines that they need to be billed to. Once you're done with that, you're going to click the user.bind fields. Now, this is your service dates. So whatever your invoice dates are for, you're going to pick the start date and the end date that that the invoice is for. So let's say this pay app is for September 1st through September 27th. Then you're going to enter your service dates as September 1st. And your end date as September 27th. Now, these service dates need to be on your invoices. If this was for work that was done, you're going to use the service dates from and to. If it's for a product, like this is FF&E, then you're going to go by the purchase order date. Please attach your purchase order to your related documents showing that that's the date that the purchase order, the items were purchased. Now, if you have several FF&E that are attached to this pay app, and you might have 6 or 7 purchase orders, because I know the bigger districts do, then you'll do the oldest date to the newest date of all the purchase orders together. Now, if it happens to have items that were purchased and there's work also done on the projects, let's say it's a security and you bought door locks, but you also had somebody come and install all the door locks as well, then you'll make sure that you'll do the start date and the end date of when that work was done. And you can include the start date as the date that you ordered the products. And then you click, let's say, since this was FF&E, my order date was on the 3rd. And I'm not having anybody install anything. It's just, you know, furniture and fixtures. So I would have my purchase order as September 3rd, because that's the date I ordered that furniture. And then I click Done. And then once that's done, and that's important, that has to be in there, and that comes from the state auditor's office. They want to see those service dates on the documentation. If you know what they are and you receive those from the vendor and it's not on there, you can handwrite those in there, or you can put some notes in your pay application. And that's going to, so we know if I can't find them, I can go to notes and find them. And then you're going to click on related documents. And then you're going to choose the invoices or pay applications that are associated with this pay app. And then you're going to click Next. And then you're going to click the last page, and that's going to show you Pay Request District. And that's the one that you should pick for the type on all of your pay applications. And then you're going to click Next again. And we don't assign permissions, so click Next. And then once that's loaded, you can see it here, you can click Add and add more documents. Or if you're done and you only had the one pay app to add, then you just click Done and click Save. And this one's a duplicate because I've already put it in here once. So that will help you as well. So just click Cancel, and that's your pay applications. Does anybody have any questions about those?
Give them just a moment. So far, no hands. So far, no questions.
Okay. So now we're going to go to consultant invoices. So I'm going to click the work desk icon, just clicking AiM. And then I'm going to click this, the same thing as I did the last time. And I'm just going to hit accounts payable. And then I'm going to click consultant invoice, the paper icon, just like the payment application, only this is for your security projects. And then we're going to click execute. And then we're going to click the project that you are looking for. And we'll just pick Bighorn. Hopefully they have something in there. And we're going to put in door locks. And the invoice. And then you're going to enter your invoice date and the submitted date. And you're going to load the lines. And you're going to click the line that it's associated with. You might have more than one line, just like the pay app. Security is a lot smaller. So you're going to click the component main entry control system. So I have door locks for that. And the invoice is actually for $4,203.70. And you're going to click Done. And you'll see that at the bottom of the page if you need to add additional lines, if there were additional lines, and you would just click Add. And then you're going to do your user-defined fields again. And that's where you're going to put in your service dates. So if it's for a product, then you're going to put your purchase order date, or if it's for service, for work that's done and it takes maybe several days to install, then you're going to put those service dates on it. Make sure those are on your invoices. And then once you're done, you're going to enter your related documents. And those are your invoices. And you're going to choose the file from your work desk. And you're just going to add those in and then click Next. And then your type, you're going to go to that last page. At the bottom of the page, you're going to click Last. And this one is a pay request consultant. So those are for your security invoices. And then you're going to click Next. And we don't use permissions, so click Next again. And then you'll see that it has been added to your related documents. And then you're going to click Done. And then you're going to click Save. And that's going to save your consultant invoice. Is there any questions on that one?
Currently see no hands and currently see no questions.
Okay, now we are going to move on to external charges. And you're going to go back to your work desk. At the top, you're going to know that you're on your main page when you click on Work Desk. Now for an external charge, you're going to go into, you're not going to go into work management or any of those. This is strictly a finance thing. So you're going to click on Finance. And then you're going to click on the paper icon next to external charges. And that's going to be a new external charge that you're adding. And for this external charge, we are replacing failing roof membrane. And you're going to find the work order that is associated with this external charge. So you're going to click on the magnifying glass next to work order. And you're going to click Execute. And you're going to find that work order. And so I don't have to go through all of these. If you know the work order number, you can enter it in and then hit Execute. And that's going to bring it up a lot quicker if you already know it. And we're going to go over how you can find all of your work orders as well. So that automatically filled in your work order, your phase, and your work code. And then you're going to enter the amount of that external charge. And then let's see if I can move this little icon that's in my way here. And we're going to enter your requisition. Oh, after you hit enter your subtotal amounts, hit totals, and that's going to update your external charge. Don't forget to do that. And then your requisition is regular, because this one was regular major maintenance. And you're going to type that in. It might be security, It could be regular 10%, 8%, but whatever it is, it needs to match the work order. So you'll want to go look at that work order before you enter that external charge and make sure they match. And then your batch is the other thing that you have to put in these into your external charge. I see some of these where regular might be misspelled, or the batch is, they might put just 19. It has to be in the 5-digit district, underscore, and then the year that the work was done. So, and then once you click on that, then you're going to click on your related documents, and you're going to click on the blue add button, and you're going to choose the external charge documentation that is associated with this charge. So there might be several of them, and then you just keep adding and adding, or scan them all in as one, and then enter them in. And so you add that external charge documentation. You click next, and that's going to bring up your title. And then the next thing you're going to do is click on the type. And this one is invoices major maintenance. So we're going to find that one. And you're going to click on that and then click next. And we don't use permissions, and we don't use permissions or attributes on any of these documents. So you're going to click next, and then you'll see at the bottom of the page that is your external charge. And again, if you need to add more of them, you just click the blue add button and then click done. Don't forget to click save. Save has to be clicked on every one of these documents, or otherwise you have to start completely over, and you don't want to do that. And that's all there is to external charges. Does anybody have any questions about that?
You do? We have Greg raising his hand. Greg, I have you unmuted. Please ask your question.
Yeah, this is a question I've always had but never have asked. On that section for the sub-ledger, if an invoice falls under 2 different categories, do we break that up, or?
Well, that's a good question. You can, the sub-ledger should be match what's on your work order. So if it's for material and labor, then I would just click one of them. Or if you're adding additional lines, I think that one I don't have a lot of experience on. So we can get back with you on that one. But if it's mostly labor, I would put it as labor. Or if it's mostly the materials, I would put that.
Okay. Okay.
Any other questions?
You're good on questions.
Okay. Okay, the next thing that's on our agenda is to go over I want to get out of this, just go into regular AiM. And we're going to go through our reports. So this is going to familiarize you with more of AiM. Don't be afraid of AiM. If you're curious, anything that's on your work desk, you have access to. You're not going to break anything. If something freezes up or if something happens and you think you might have done something, just give me a call and we can look at it. If you need help and you've done something wrong in one of your pay applications or anything like that, you need some help or you're not quite sure, just give us a call. Give me a call. I'm happy to help you. We can do a little go-to meeting so I can see your screen, and we'll get it, whatever needs done, whether it's canceling a pay app or just correcting a line. Maybe you've put the wrong amount in your pay application. You need that corrected. Give me a call. I can walk you through it, or I can fix it for you. So don't feel that you can't contact me for whatever you need. But the first report listing that we're going to go over is the Capital Project Budget Appropriations Report. So that's all of your report listings are on the right-hand side. Now, as you can see, I probably have a lot more access to reports than what you do. And if there's additional reports that you do want that you might see here that you think you might need, let us know. But I think JJ and Raj has set everybody up pretty good. So, so we're going to go into the Capital Project Budget Appropriations Report. And you're going to, everything that has a little red star next to it is a required field. So you're going to see that in most of the reports that those, pretty much everything's going to be required. So you're going to click your district. And let's click on Campbell because they have usually quite a bit of projects. And then we're going to click on all of their buildings and the capital project that were types. You can either click on all types, or let's say you're just interested in your component level projects. And then you only want to look at your active. And then click OK. And that's going to pull up all of the capital project numbers. And you'll see those in blue. And what's great about this is if you want more details, you can click on the capital project number. And it's going to bring you right to your capital project. And you can look at related documents. It's going to tell you what component groups you have. You can click on Viewfinder, and Viewfinder is going to take you to your change orders, your payment applications, your project funding, or your contract encumbrance adjustments. So it does have a lot of information right at your fingertips. So I just wanted to show you that. So anytime you go into any of these reports, or pretty much anything in AiM, if you see it highlighted in blue, that's a link to the project or to a property or to anything to do that you're looking at in your district. But this one is your appropriations that we're giving, that the legislature has appropriated. Now this one There was a component level project. It was appropriated for $126,000. The current budget is $126,000. It's had awarded contracts already. It's a project that's completed, and the expenditures are showing that it is completely expended and that you don't have any budget money left. That tells us that that project is done. You might have, let's see if there's, might be any others that have money left on them. I don't see any. So otherwise you would see unexpended contracts on it, or you would see budget not contracted, and that would say that you could do, that you still had change orders left to do on the project. So that's your appropriations by district. So you can find those anytime you might need them. Now the next report that we're going to look at is your capital project DAL-CAL report. So we're going to go over here and we're going to hit click on capital project DAL-CAL report. And then we're going to find a district. We're going to pick on Campbell again because they usually have a lot more projects. And you want only your active. And if you want to look at your closed ones, you certainly can do that. And then let's do, I think a lot of these are done. Let's see if this one's still open. Okay, now this is going to show you your original contract. It's the very first one. And it's going to show you your component group, the component, and the line that original contract or change order was done. And then you can pull those up. You can pull up it by your capital project or your construction contract, which are going to have the exact same number. And so if I wanted to go in and I wanted to look at these change orders, then you can, if you just want a quick look, this is going to tell you change order 2 was for $241,000. Now, if you wanted to look at that, you could click on the construction contract number. It's one of those blue icons that we talked about a minute ago. And you can click on Viewfinder. And here's those change orders that we just seen on the previous page. And if I wanted to look at that change order, I can click on change order 2, and I can click on the related documents, and I can download that change order by either clicking on the thumbnail, or I can click on the title. And you can download it from there as well. And that's going to bring the document down, and you can save it to your files. If you were looking for it and you couldn't find it, you're going to find it in AiM. So anything that you've done, any change orders or original contracts, you can find those in AiM. So does anybody have any questions about either of those?
Currently no hands and currently no questions popped.
Okay. All right, the next one we're going to look at is your external charge report. So we're going to click on the AiM icon and take us right back to the work desk. and we are going to look at the external charge report. And we're going to click your district, and we're going to click on Bighorn 1, and we're going to click on, let's say we're going to look at 2017. Now this is going to show all of the external charges that were submitted. It's going to have the work order that was attached to the external charge, and it has your external charge number. And then it also has the amount of the expenditures on that work order. And you can click on, of course, the blue icons, and that's going to take you right to the work order. There's your work order. And there's your external charge. So those are nice and handy. So if you're not sure you submitted an external charge, then you can always go into this report and it'll tell you, show you what you currently have. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Please remember you can raise your hand or type a question. At this time, there is no hands and there is no questions being typed.
Okay, the next one that we're going to look at as we go back to our AiM work desk, and we're going to look at the facility plan report. So we're going to click on facility plan report. Let's get rid of some of these extra. Okay, now we're going to click on statuses, and we're going to open, now you can open up all statuses if you want, and all projects, but that's going to open up every year. And if you're only looking for, let's say I just want to look at last year's, then you can click on open statuses, and you can go, oh, I don't think, no, here we go. This is last year's, the 2018. Now, the facility plan documents, everything that you did in facility planning for last year is going to be on this report. And it's going to have all the previous years as well. So if you're new to the district and you kind of want to get yourself familiar with facility planning, this is your best way. Go into your previous facility plans, review each of the documents. That's going to help you get prepared for this year. And when are they going to start facility planning?
We will start some pre-meetings in the month of December. The actual facility plans themselves will be starting January into March, and April will be the kickoff for state agencies.
So if you have any questions about your facility planning documents and how you can get prepared early, look at your previous facility plan documents. That's going to help you. Or call Amber and she'll be happy to help you. And this is just going to show you some of your documents. So I just clicked on one of them. And this one actually is for a state construction one. So it's our annual property lease notification form. The facility planning group, they handled all of the state and school facilities, so they got their plates pretty full. So So that's all there is in facility planning. Do you have any questions about that?
No hands, no questions.
Okay. The next report we're going to look at is facility plan work orders. And that is under report listing. And we're going to click on, let's go and click Campbell County again. And let's do Campbell County High School. Let's see if there's anything in that. And we just want to look at facility plans and status. We just want to do accept. And we can click on all years. We want to review that, and all crafts. And click OK. And so this is going to show you your district, the facility plan year that this project was done, and the property number, your description of that property. It's going to have your planned work order attached to it and the amount. And since this one's fairly, this project's been going on for quite a while, so, right? So this one, yeah, this one was done back in 2012. Okay. The next one, that one you can also do the major maintenance. Let's go with Bighorn 2. And we're going to look at all of their properties. And we're going to look at major maintenance. And just anything that's open. And they didn't have any. So it's just, if you know that you have some planned work orders out, and you can look and see, you might have all properties you want to pull up, all types, and all statuses. And let's see, what else did we put in there? And we'll see if that's going to bring up even more information. And this is going to show you the status of those work orders. And you can just review all of them. You can go in and you can look at the work order again, and just by clicking on the blue icon, and that's going to give you your report, and it shows that it was major maintenance and they used 10% on it. So the next report that we're going to look at is your location info report. And that's at the bottom here. And you're going to click your district. We're going to click Albany 1. And we're going to click only the active. And we want to look at all their buildings and their classifications and categories and pretty much everything that they have. So I wanted to mention too, this is going to be for all of your reports. You can export these reports by clicking the export report icon at the top left of the page. And you can export it into Excel or into a document. If you needed to manipulate it in one of these reports and kind of to move around each of the types in use and stuff like that, you can export this to Excel, and you just click on the export and then click the down here for Excel and click OK. Then that's going to save this to an Excel document, and then if you wanted to make your own report, then well, that one didn't want to work. So I should have probably clicked yes. Let's try that again. And that just brought your report into an Excel spreadsheet that you can start moving information around. You can remove this, and then you can start moving these tabs or your columns, and just kind of do your own report on any of these. And that's with every one of these reports that are in AiM. Now, if you wanted to, maybe you didn't want all of the buildings, so you can click the little P paper icon and rerun the report. It's the one that's in blue, and then you can hit your Albany County again, and your property status that's active, but you don't want all of the buildings. Let's say you just want the administration building. And then you're going to click OK. And that's just going to bring up your administration building. So you have the ability to do different things with these reports, but if you're certainly only want to look at one building, this is going to give you the access to do that. And as you can see, here's all of your room numbers, and you can click on those, and those are going to give you, wow, that one gave me an error. So, but it's, you might need to look at that one. So we'll have to check into that. But it has your building number. You can click on that. It's in blue, and it's going to have your a picture of your building. We're trying to get all of those in there. So if you see that you're in the property profiles and it's not doesn't have a picture of your building, if you send us a good picture, we'll get that added to your property. So now we're going to go into major maintenance project group report. And you're going to go right back to your AiM icon. You're going to click on the project group report. And we're going to click all buildings. We did Bighorn. And we're going to look at the major maintenance. Then you're going to type the today's date. And that's going to show all of your major maintenance. You're going to see these work orders are closed. So all of the newest ones are at the very bottom. So, and there might be additional pages. You can go, if you know what page number is, you can type it in. It'll take you to that page. Or if there's more pages at the top here, on the top right, that's going to be highlighted in blue if there's more than one page. So this is going to show the status of your work orders. So you can see all of these are closed, but at the bottom you're going to start seeing that they're either work in progress or they're opened. And this is a good way for you to be able to clean up your work orders at the end of each of your fiscal years. So if you want to look at the carpet, replacement room carpet for 2020, and you can click on the little blue icon for the work order, and it's going to take you right to that work order, and it's going to show you that it's Bighorn 2, and it's going to show you the site and the property that that work order is attached to. It's also going to give you your type, your major maintenance, and your category of major maintenance. And then it's going to kind of give you a grand total of all these years together. So that's going to be helpful for you when you do your 680 report. Okay, the next one that we're going to go to is your property information report. I'm going to find that one because it's not pulling up. We're going to go to the property building profile. Okay, so now we're going to look at, let's say we're going to click on Albany 1, and we're going to look at active properties. And we want to look at just buildings. And we want to look at all the classes that we have. And we want to look at everything that we have leased. So then you click on OK. And that's going to bring up all of your leases in Albany County. Now, if you see that there's one missing, then you'll want to fill out that AiM update form and get that added. If you see something that needs corrected on your property profile report, then go ahead and let us know, and we can get that corrected too. You can fill out an AiM update form. So then if you want, you can look at the report again by clicking the paper icon, and you want to look at everything you have that's owned. So then you're just going to change the status from lease to own, and you're going to click OK. This is going to show you all of your buildings. And the property profile in AiM is used to hold all the locations. It has your CAD drawings. and general information of school buildings in the state. The numbering system is, the first number is your district. So every one of the properties for Albany 1 starts with 0101. And the tract is the next number, and it's in sequence. And then your building number at the end is in sequence from the tract. So you have your district, your tract, and your building. So you might see that, for instance, Rock River has a tract of land, but they have 2 buildings on it. So, and then as you get into bigger districts, you're going to see a lot of, you might have several buildings on one piece of land. And we might attach, let's say you bought some property across the street from your high school, and we might attach that piece of property to that tract of land as well. So, and then if you build something, then we would add that tract or that building as well. Excuse me. So that's all there is to that project. And of course, again, you can export that into a report that you can review all at once, or, you know, it's going to bring up exactly what you have in AiM. But if you want to do some sort of report for staff, you can manipulate these by exporting them into an Excel spreadsheet. So we're going to get out of that one. And we're going to go to the last report that we have, and that is all of your tracts and deeds by district. So you're going to click on what your district is. We're going to click on Albany County again. You want to see all of your deeds? You want to click yes. And select whether they're active, inactive, or all of them. So we're going to click on active. And this is going to show all of the deeds that are attached to your properties. And so you can see that we may not have a deed for some of these properties. If you know that you have deeds that you have not uploaded to, or had us upload to your properties, fill out the AiM update form, attach that to it. You can send that over to me or Charlie, and we can get that updated for you. But these are showing that your maintenance and operations tract. I think if we go in, let's try one of these deeds, and it's going to have all of the information, what kind of deed it is. It has your warranty deed, the tract it's attached to, the address, and then on related documents, it should have the original deed attached to it. If we have it, it's uploaded and added to the property and tract. And so some of these are really old, but we're trying to have all of your properties as accurate as we can and have all of the information that you might need in the future. Let's say that you're planning on selling a piece of property and you need to have the deed, and nobody in your office knows about, where the original deed is. If we have it, then you'll be able to find it here. So does anybody have any questions about that?
We do. Greg, you're unmuted.
All right, thank you. So this, I guess this process is going to answer my question. We had just bought some land next door to this ours because of the track that they're going to build. So is this where I start with the AiM update form and stuff like that, or?
Yes, you're going to want to communicate with your project manager. I think if you're going to sell tract or if you're going to sell land or buy land, you certainly need to talk to your project manager because there's certain things that you have to do and it has to go through the commission. So that's where I would start. I would fill out the AiM update form that's on our website and get as much information on that and get that sent over. And Charlie will probably contact you as well with additional information, or I will. So did you have additional questions on that?
No, I think probably maybe once I get started I might, but I just didn't even think about what the process of after buying this was. So yeah. that'll help. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely contact your project manager and he'll walk you through the stuff that he needs as well.
Because one, it could be tied to a previous track and tied in, and it will still need to be an AiM update form, and you'll have to walk through that. Now, if it is a separate entity in itself, it will be a new property in its entirety, still a new property profile built with a new form. Either route, you're still going to have to fill out paperwork, and it still will be recorded in AiM.
Yeah, and if it's new property, then we'll set up a brand new property for you.
That's what I was wondering. Is that something you'll determine if you'll move it into the, because it's right connected to the high school, junior high, elementary.
What we do is we'll go on to Google Earth and see exactly where it's located. Make sure that you have the address that on the AiM update form. Make sure that is filled out as detailed as you can and include that deed for that new property, and then we'll look and see exactly where it's located, and if it is indeed like right across the street, we'll probably attach it to one of the other properties. So it kind of depends after we look at it. Usually Charlie and I look at those together, and then we determine if we want those to be on it already designated tract of land, or if we want to add a new one. So just makes it easier if they're all tied together.
Oh yeah, and they're right next to each other, so
yeah.
That might hopefully. Okay, I'll get that started.
Okay, awesome. Any other questions?
I don't have any. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Currently no other hands, no other questions. Oh, we do have a question from Julie Mason. Where can I find a complete current work code list for planned work orders?
I have one, but I think there's been some updates to that. So let me, we'll get a report ran for you, and we can email that to you.
Julie, I'm unable to give you a mic for whatever reason. Is there any other question to add to that? No. No, she is fine.
Okay. Is there any other questions?
Currently,
Okay.
no.
Well, this concludes the AiM training webinar. Like I said at the beginning, we'll be doing these more often. If there's additional training that you want to see in a future webinar, shoot me an email and we'll add that to our agenda, and we'll just make sure that these webinars are going to get better and better and get you more informed on how to use AiM. And any other things that you want training on, just let us know. Is there any final questions?
Currently, no questions, no hands.
Okay, well, thank you all for joining me and Amber in this AiM training, and I hope you have a great day.
Go ahead and open it up.